I'm not teaching, I'm publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for Life in the UK test part 336. The role of a court part 2, and we're just trying to understand the questions at the end of the chapter. Why you're doing a bit standing yoga, and if you participate in the standing yoga, better set your own risk. So we want to find out what is the judiciary. What are the indications we have? So we're having a chapter about which is called judiciary. There's written that the judiciary are judges. They are judges. That is maybe the missing link, the most important thing. And they are interpreting the law and so on and so on. And sometimes the actions of the government are claimed to be illegal if the judges agree, then the government must either change its policies or ask Parliament to change. So the question is, are these judges or the judiciary only there if there's something about the Parliament? Or the Parliament or the government? Sometimes the actions of the government are claimed to be illegal. I don't get the difference between government and Parliament. Maybe we should try to find it out. So, or are we also for other cases? No, we're having a judges also make decisions in disputes between members of the public or organizations. These might be about contracts, property, or employment rights, or after an accident. I don't think that the judiciary, the judges, only look if something is going wrong in the Parliament, and from time to time they are looking for disputes in property and employment right. They are probably doing also something in the middle. So these judges are working everywhere. The judiciary works everywhere, not just for the Parliament. In Northern Ireland, cases are heard by a district judge or deputy district judge who is legally qualified and paid. Cases of severe crime, or of criminal courts. No, not of severe crime, of criminal courts, but of crime. In crown courts and sheriff courts, in front of a judge, judges are together called the judiciary. Tried in front of a judge and a jury in the crown courts. So I think the judiciary are just to describe all the judges together. So judges who are together called the judiciary. So the judiciary are just all the thousands of judges or whatever, how many there are in the United Kingdom. And they are working sometimes if there's an issue with the Parliament, if the Parliament is doing anything illegal. And they are also working as deputy or district judges in magistrates courts in Northern Ireland, or at crown courts. They are working as where something is presented before them, the judge, and a jury. So these judges are working everywhere. So the role of a judiciary. What is the role now? The role of a judiciary is they are responsible for interpreting the law and ensuring that trials are conducted fairly. So the role of a judiciary is to interpret the law and to ensure that the trials are conducted fairly. Now, I would wish now for an explanation of what interpreting the law means. Because I said that if it's written about something in that law, in that complex law sometimes, is that the case what is happening here in reality. So the accusation is that someone has thrown a stone. Is that what is here forbidden in the law? Here is written, throwing a stone with other people is illegal, and now this is quite simple probably. Now I have to look, was the other person, was it a people? So a person. Now if it's written to throw at other people and the person has thrown the stone at a car, now the judge maybe has a little problem. Now someone could say that one has thrown a stone, that is illegal. And now the judge says, I'm the one interpreting the law and looks at the law and there's written to throw a stone at people is illegal. Just for clarification, both is illegal, throwing stones at cars and at people, but it could be a different law. So there could be that at one place in the law is written, throwing a stone at a person gives that penalty, and throwing a stone at objects like cars gives that penalty. And now there would be, now the judge, they have to read the law closely and say, no, here's talking about people, here's the talks about objects, that is that a bit. And now, what if a stone was thrown at the dog? So I think that's interpreting the law. They have to look now, what is an animal? Are animals objects? Are these people? They have animal rights. We need another law. We need other lawyers. We need other solicitors. We need to look where that is treated, what is happening here. So I think it's that. The law is complex, there are things written in the law, there's written throwing a stone at people is forbidden. Now there's someone accused of having thrown a stone, and now it has to be looked, what is written here in the text, what is happening in reality, and I think that means interpreting the law. It would be helpful if something like that would be written. Because I don't know if that what I just said is true, is the end of sense. And they also ensure that trials are conducted fairly. Yes, I think that's the role of judiciary. No, but who's making over the verdict? They said the verdict is done by magistrates decide the verdict in each case that comes before them. Magistrates and justices of peace are members of a local community. In England, Wales, and Scotland, they usually work unpaid and do not need legal qualifications. So these are the people from the just randomly selected from the electoral register. And they are speaking the verdict guilty or not guilty. So the judges are not saying guilty or not guilty. Who is saying now the sentence? If magistrates decide the verdict in each case, so magistrates, they are just unpaid people, except of here, Northern Ireland, they are qualified. And in Scotland they are not called magistrates, but justice of peace courts or something like that. Yes, justice of peace. Peace. And these magistrates decide the verdict, so of guilty or not guilty, in each case that comes before them, and if the person is found guilty, the sentence that they are given. So the judge, the judiciary, is not saying guilty or not guilty, and they are not saying how high the penalty is. That is the verdict doing, that is the magistrates doing, so just version of people, the jury, I guess. Did we have here something else? The jury is made up of members of the public, so basically the magistrates, just now for the crown courts. The jury is made from the electoral register. Magistrates are members of the local community. They are unpaid and do not need legal qualifications. That seems to be at least similar. The jury has to listen to the evidence presented at the trial and then decide the verdict of guilty or not guilty. But the judges decide on the penalty if it's crown court. So, if it is a minor case, then the random people, basically, are deciding guilty or not guilty and the penalty. If it is a serious offense, some random people deciding if they are guilty or not, but then the judges are saying how high the penalty is. So it makes a great difference if something is seen as minor criminality, or what did we call it, bigger criminality, as serious or unserious, or what was what they call it. Minor criminal cases, serious offenses. So just this classification makes a big difference how that all is practiced with. Is that fair? Because it has nothing to do with the victims, or I don't know. I'm just reading it and I just have it here and try to interpret it, and I see a major difference which was not pointed out. I thought we have that difference would be pointed out. Maybe we're going to ask that, and we have to find that difference and that big thing. And that is a big difference, and I can't. I see a reason. It is a serious crime, so a judge, someone who works there, should say the penalty. But why not also for minor offenses? There's a problem with a judge saying the penalty for minor offenses. I don't know. We will continue here in the third part to that whole thing. We'll continue exactly here. Now we're going to do a little bit standing yoga. If you participate in the standing yoga, that is at your own risk. We're doing the eagle swings. We're having the feet standing together, and we're breathing in, we are out, we are lifting the arms up. And breathe again out and bring the arms down. And again in and lift the arms up. And breathe again out and lift the arms down. And again in and lift the arms up. And out the arms again down. And again in and lift the arms up. And out of the arms down. And another time, last time. Again lift the arms up. And breathe out the arms down. Now breathe in and lift the arms up. And breathe out, lift the arms down, up my chest to the sky, have a crib in the morning. Again in and the arms up. And breathe out the arms again down. Breathe again in, close the hands. And breathe out and lean back. And again in, again the middle. And out a second time back. Breathe in into the middle. And out, we're leaning onto our knees. And make a new space between the feet. We're breathing in. And out, we're making a hell of a back, a cat. And we're breathing in, making a straight back. And out, a very back, a cow. And again in into the middle. And out, a hell of a back, a cat. In into the middle. And out into the cow. Again in into the middle, and last time. Out into the cat. In into the middle. Out the cow. Now again into the middle. And out the cow. Back up. We're doing the chair. Breathing in and lifting the arms up. We're having still an inch space between the feet. And out. Again in and becoming onto tiptoes. And we will keep standing the whole time on tiptoes. And out, we're sinking down into the chair. Not 2 times. First time we're breathing in and coming up. And out and again down. And the last time breathe in and come up. And out and down. Breathe in and we're ending this exercise. Out the arms down and the heels. Close the feet again. We're breathing in and lifting the arms up. And we're breathing out, down diving. Blood. So we're doing banana. Bend the right knee and stretch out the left leg. Breathe in, straighten both legs. And out and stretch on the right leg. Breathe in the middle. Out, stretch the left leg, and in into the middle, and both legs straight. Now the penguin, we're breathing in and lifting the right arm to the sky, we're looking over the right shoulder to the right hand, bending the left knee. In the arm again back, both legs straight, and out, lift the right arm to the left arm to the sky. Look up the left shoulder to the left hand and bend the right knee. In the arm again back. Make a little space between the feet. And breathe in and go down. Out. And again up. Breathe in and come down. And out and again up. Now we're closing the feet and we're breathing in, coming halfway up with straight back and out and again down. Again in halfway with straight back and out and down. Breathe in and doing the up diving swan. Close your hands and breathe out and bring the hands to heart center. Thank you very much and until next time.